I'm Seth Grant with Sailrite, and in this video we're going to show you 4 different approaches to make a U-shaped zipper using a heat gun, cutting slits, basting tape only, and then a pucker up stitch. And in this video we're only showing you the techniques on how to create the U shape in the zipper. If you want to see a video that shows you how to dress out the rest of the smiley face window with the canvas and the binding and such, we have a link in the description below to a video that goes through the whole process.
Our first method is the pucker up stitch.
Here at Sailrite we call this the pucker up stitch. So in essence we're going to pucker up the fabric to create our U shape, and I'm going to start 5 inches from the top, so this will be where the straightaway ends and the curve starts. So I'll mark it 5 inches on this end and 5 inches on this end. Okay, and now we're going to head over to the sewing machine. We're going to use a black thread to do this, but you'd want to use whatever matches your project. And I'm going to keep my needle in the center position and start right on that mark right there. So no reversing for this, and then I'm just going to sew all the way down the zipper to the other end, right up against those teeth. And you can notice, if you look behind the machine, the zipper's already puckering up, and we have not changed our tension for this. We're sewing this under normal tension. Then I gotta pay attention to where my other mark is, and I'll stop there. No reversing. So here's what our zipper looks like, and you can see it now has a natural curve to it because of the stitches. And if you wanted to tighten this up and, in essence, add more curve, you would decrease your stitch length or increase your tension on your sewing machine. And if you think it's too curved and you want to straighten it back out, you can just grab the ends of the zipper and pull it more straighter, and you can, as you can see, it's starting to straighten out already.
Here's a look at our finished pucker stitch on the left, and then one on the right has more tension. We're going to use the one on the right later on when we sew it into the window, because ours is a little bit lacking in the curvature. Our second method is using a heat gun.
Okay, so I'm marking 5 inches from the top edge. This is for my straightaway. So this is where my curve will start, and I've already marked 5 inches from the other end. And this is our zipper. Our zipper is with the teeth facing down for this approach. So teeth are facing down. Okay, so now we're going to take our heat gun, put it on high heat, and I'm going to hold this up a little bit, and I'm only going to try to hit this side of my tape. So it's direct heat right on that side, and I want to heat it up until it, in essence, curls a little bit. Ooh, I'm burning my paper. You can see it's starting to curl. You see that little curl right there? It's curling all the way across. And this method works, but we don't really recommend it here at Sailrite because it can damage your zipper. And obviously the other dangers I already mentioned earlier. Look, see, we obviously burnt our zipper a little bit there. So we want to be a little bit more cautious than that. And I might have to go a little bit faster. Okay, and I'm holding it up far away because it's actually burning my fingers a little bit here too. Okay, and you can see it is adding wrinkles or creases in it. Oof, I'm burning my fingers. That's shrinking it up. Looks like it needs a little bit more right here. Okay, and then let's check. We could probably add a little bit more in this area. We're only going to our 5-inch marks, which is where the straightaway starts. Okay, and I think that's pretty good right there. I'm going to put this somewhere where it won't burn down the place. You can see we did burn it a little bit right there, which is one of the drawbacks of this, but as you can see, it's definitely pre-curved now. So this will lay down nice and flat once you sew it onto a window.
This is method number 3, and we're going to be showing you the slit method.
This is a slit approach. So what this does is it allows the zipper to go around the curve using these slits to take up and add the extra fabric. So this is the outside curve, so it would need to stretch around. So you see the V's are opening up wider, and these are the inside curves, so you can see they're closing up. So there's extra fabric pushing together into the center. Okay, and what I've done here is I have taken my clear acrylic ruler and I have measured the outside slits at 3 inches and the inside slits at 2 inches all the way down the curved portion of my window. You see I have my straights up here at the top on each side. And then I took my hot knife and I carefully cut each one of these about 1/4 of an inch in, making sure that my hot knife doesn't get too hot. So I will actually let this cool down before I go over to this side and cut my slits over here. And by doing it this way, you get a nicer finished look. See, that one it probably got a little bit too hot, so I'll wait a little bit longer for the next one. And then sometimes you don't even have to push the trigger, you can just push it up against and feel how much you're gonna need. And there you go. And so there we go, we got slits all the way down it. So this will be my inside edge, and this will end up taking the inside curve. It's kind of hard to see when you don't have it on a window. The idea behind this slit approach is that you don't have to baste it down, and you can just sew each one of these legs individually to get it on there. But this is not an approach we would recommend for our DIY customers. We have other approaches that we believe are better. And the reason we don't recommend this is because it's not a very attractive look, because you have all of these slits in your zipper, and you either have to cover those or just live with how ugly they are.
This is method number 4, our final method, basting only.
Okay, this is our final method. This is basting it directly to the glass. And we are putting basting tape down this edge, right up against the outside. Teeth are facing down, and we're also gonna put basting tape down this edge, all the way to the other end. Then we'll show you what's next. So now I'm gonna do the outside edge of the zipper first. So this is my outside edge. So I'll peel off my transfer paper here, and I'm not gonna start all the way at the top just because I don't think my zipper is that long. And I'm going to be pulling, so as soon as I start hitting this curve, I'm going to be pulling on this end of the zipper because I need to stretch the outside of the zipper and shrink up the inside. So I'm now pulling on this zipper as I go, basting it down as close to that line as I can. Doesn't have to be perfectly accurate in this case. And just keep pulling, go all the way to the other end. So this is just an example of how to baste a zipper down. We obviously would normally have this be more finished, so there'd be binding over this edge, but I have my needle in the right position. I'm still using black thread. You'd normally use something that matches your project, and I'm gonna sew with the outside edge of the inside foot against the outside of the zipper. So I'm not gonna do any reversing, and I'm just gonna sew around the perimeter, lining that up, and then we'll show you what's next. And obviously you need to roll this up if it's going to hit the inside throat of the sewing machine. Just sew around the perimeter. I'm going to peel off the transfer paper, and I'm going to start down here in the middle at the bottom. I'm going to baste this down, and there are going to be some wrinkles in here, and I'm just going to spread those out and make them tiny. So I don't want to make big wrinkles because I know I'm going to have some. I want to make really small, tiny wrinkles. And these will all get pressed out, or most of them will, when I sew this down. So just keep working my way around the perimeter here. And I'm trying to get these teeth flat. My ultimate goal is to get the teeth flat on the glass, not obviously the outside of the zipper or the flange. I'll just keep working my way up here to the straightaway. And then I'm going to work my way the other direction as soon as I've finished this. It looks like I don't really like the way that one looks, so you can always peel it up a little bit and adjust it. So there I spreaded the wrinkles out. There you go, that looks pretty good this way. Now I'll do the same thing heading this direction. And you can work on this for as long as you like. So if you want to spread these out so they're basically non-existent, spend a bunch of time on it, go right ahead. I mean, it'll only make your window look better, or your zipper look better on your window. So we're going to do the same thing we did on the outside. We're just going to sew with the outside edge of the foot up against the outside edge of the zipper. And my needle is in the left position. And I'm not going to do any reversing here at the beginning, and I'll just sew around it. And this is an example, again, so you obviously you're probably going to have bindings and facings to cover this. So and obviously we want to make sure the zipper is flat. So if we did have the zipper pop up anywhere, I would end up pulling this up and rebasting it down. And I'm going to roll this up for the inside of the sewing machine. Don't want to hit it. Just keep sewing around the perimeter. And this is what it looks like when you're finished. As you can see, very tiny wrinkles. Most of them are worked out, and the zipper teeth are very flat up against the glass, all the way around the perimeter. So now we've completed our basted zipper, and now we're going to do the pucker up stitch, slitted zipper, and the heated zipper, and we're going to sew each one of those onto a panel. We're not going to show you that, but we're going to show you what they look like in the end and talk about which approach we think is best. Okay, so here are all 4 of our panels on the table. We made them all the exact same way. We sewed them all close to the edge, just like we showed you on the basting only approach. And all of them we used basting tape on. Even though this one could be done without basting tape, it's just way easier to do it with basting tape. Okay, and our favorite is probably the pucker up stitch, because it's very easy to sew this initial stitch and then just baste this thing down, and it does lay nice and flat. And then the heat gun approach probably laid the flattest, but there are the dangers of burning the zipper, burning yourself, etc. But it really did turn out quite nicely. So if you're not afraid to damage your zipper or use the heat gun, this is a good approach. And then our third favorite approach is the basting tape only, which is probably the most simplistic as far as just putting tape on both sides and basting the outside down and then the inside. And our least favorite approach is the slits approach. As you can see, each one of these slits rolled over on top of itself. So it's really not that attractive of a look, period. So I would not recommend this one.
And here's a little bit of a bonus trick for the next time you're cutting glass.
In this video, we didn't show how to cut the glass, but this is a new trick we just learned. If you take a razor blade and you just score the glass, I'm obviously not cutting a straight line, I'm just showing you, all the way across to the other end. I'm just trying not to cut my table. Then you can come back up here to the top, and you can just peel this glass apart. So, looks like I need to cut a little bit deeper, but that still works. Look at that, I can just peel this right off. And there you have it.